Okay. I believe this is session 31, Josh.
Yes.
Yay, I got it right. Off to a good start. Okay, so this is session 31, and in the last session, you guys spent your time, I believe, shopping. Yes, no?
Very
Preparing
correct.
boys.
Yes.
And
Yes.
basically saying farewell to the important NPCs in. Anyone want to point out anything else big that happened?
So to go shopping, we needed to get the money. So Aramel and Charlene were the ones that went and got the money, which is like the thing because the two socialists are the ones that are getting 25,000 gold.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Let's see. We already covered Bird. I think that happened in the session before, correct?
Yes.
Although I think Aramil and Charlene had an interesting discussion on the morality of awakening animals.
Yeah. Aramel is not happy about it, and Charlene is like, hey, I had consent, it's fine.
What other big moments happened?
We can briefly go over the purchasing. In addition to
take that away, please.
Sure. In addition to clarifying, Aramel clarifying that he did not have feelings. Oh crap! My mic is off.
I was like, Aramil clarified that he does not have feelings,
okay.
And then silence.
He has 0 feelings. That's what I was going for. Anyway, they were at Gilmore's Glorious Goods, purchasing items. Aramil clarified that he didn't have romantic feelings towards Gilmore, and it was awkward. Very awkward. Especially since Gilmore gave them a supreme healing potion. Superior. One of the S ones. The good one. He was nice. But we did also spend, as a group, almost all of our forward gold on items. We purchased 6 magical items in potions. They include, getting my list out here, the Flying Broom, Dimensional Shackles, Ring of Jump. I don't remember the name of the tome, but a tome that increases your wisdom.
Yes.
I wrote down their utility, not their exact names, because I'm very prepared. A vampiric short sword, and a robe with patches on it that you can pull stuff off of. How convenient.
The tome, could it be the Tome of Understanding?
Did I not give you the... I didn't, did I?
You gave us a description.
I never put them into the Roll20, did I?
I just dragged it in now, assuming that I'm correct. I think the Tome of Understanding is the wisdom one. It might be Clear Thought, though, now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure it's Understanding.
It's the wisdom one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Sword of Life Stealing. It's not a vampiric sword. That's actually a different item.
I'm sorry I dropped the ball on not sending you guys those cards. Okay, anything else on the last session you guys want to recap?
I think that's it.
I was just going to mention real quick that that Zane had purchased barding for Maximus,
Yes.
and he bought a lance, I believe that, and he turned in his armor and his lance to turn into magical armor and lance. I don't know if he did the same for Maximus's armor.
So when we get back from the cat mission thing, right?
Yep, at the moment I'm wearing lesser armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Last chance at any other thing you wanted to recap from last session. Casey?
Lots of sex.
Ah,
Yeah.
jeez.
All of Zane's mission.
Right. You want
Not
to touch
for-
base on that since that was all behind the scenes?
Not necessarily. I think it was just wrapping up what I could wrap up.
Okay. I believe that the Kamara.
And then I gave you. I showed you my long ass notes and everything that I highlight as missions and stuff, so that you could look at.
Okay. Kamara, it should also be noted, left Kostiyama with Vale Aaron at the estate.
Yep.
Okay. Randolph Phineas?
No, I sent you what I did when I left the group at the end of the night, and that's I think where we ended the session, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
That is where we ended it, right?
I believe so. I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
been a couple weeks and I'm very
Because I
tired.
remember, yeah, I helped Kamara around the inn or the tavern, and then she took off with her child, and then I took off and saw my friends. Girlfriend.
Okay. And then we are picking up at the Laughing Llama. Let's just say it is bright and early the next morning. And you guys take it from here.
Okay. Well, are we ready to save some kittens?
Save some kittens.
When you put it like that, I very much would like to.
Hey, Casey, can you start the voice call, please?
Okay.
We're all breaking up.
I have so many voice calls.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. Is that better?
Hello.
Everyone was fine for me.
It was clear before for us, but it's still good.
I got some first that there was some breaking up, so okay. Well, either way, yes, continue.
Out of character, were we planning on leaving this morning to go and do the side?
In character, Aramil nods.
Yes.
What are you nodding at?
Oh, did someone just ask if we were all ready to leave?
No,
I must have heard
no one
something.
did that. No. Is he talking to you today?
No, we talked in person the other day. You would know if we were communicating. He closes his eyes for a second, and then opens them again and says, I believe he might be resting already.
That's fair.
Well, let's go save those kittens.
Let's save some kitten.
Thanks for getting the rations, Red.
This coffee is very tempting, though. Maybe we can have some first.
Sure. I mean, I've been drinking it for a while now. Have you not?
Nope. It is I don't need as much rest as other people, but my it almost feels like my attention is is dwindling. So many things pulling at my focus. It's times like these when I need to reflect on my training, of course.
That makes sense.
Reflect away.
Mingxi walks up to the group of you and notices that you all have your bags and everything packed. Is this the morning then?
What?
Are you leaving?
For a little bit. And then after that, for a lot of it.
I'll be gone for a month, I think.
Oh, I'm having you here. So will Bree and Bailey. And then she calls over to Bailey and tells him to make sure that horses are fed and tells him to saddle them up.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm bringing Maximus to get him to stretch his legs before the laundry.
Aramel will look over Mingxi as they're discussing. How is she looking today, in terms of how healthy she looks?
Make a medicine check. She looks like a Minxie. She is wearing a shirt that has a shirt with a coat over it that has kind of a high collar, but other than that, she's Minxie.
He just nods as they're discussing preparing the horses.
Okay, so you guys share a breakfast. You share some coffee. Are you doing anything else before departing?
Remind me again what we're looking for and what exactly we're to expect while we're looking for these kittens. He says to whoever knows.
Sure, you know more way than I do. Please rest.
So we know the Coatl cats babies were taken, and we know roughly where they were taken on their way down to here. We know how long it took them, so it should probably be just a few days for us to go to that area. Once we get there, we'll have to do some searching and see what we can figure out.
Well, very well. If everybody's done with their meal, let's get on our horses and head off.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you guys make your way through the kitchen, out the main back doors into the courtyard. It's a bright, sunny morning. So moving on now for summer. For the time that you've been on, Looks like we're having some audio issues. Am
Uh,
I roboting?
it was
Everybody
Discord.
roboting.
Yeah.
It's happening to everybody like sporadically.
It seems to have recovered though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I disconnected and came back, and it's green now instead of red. So, and you've been pretty good.
Then I will continue. As you walk into the courtyard, Charlotte, you hear a little voice that says, "Good morning. Good morning."
Good morning. How are you today?
She tilts her head and flaps her wings. Here you going?
We're going to try and find some other friends. Do you want to come with us?
Okay, me come. She flaps her wings and lands on your shoulder.
Nice.
So Bailey has finished settling up pretty much everyone but Maximus. He's kind of busy with one of his, and Maximus' attack is set out ready to go soon. Do you wait for him to do it, or are you going to do it yourself?
I only caught a bit of that. He was putting what on Max?
So Bailey's been putting all the saddles, it's called tack, like saddle bridle, all that stuff. He's been putting that on all the horses, getting them ready to go. But he hasn't quite gotten to Maximus yet. Everything is set out. Are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to wait for him?
I'll do it myself.
Okay, I need you to make a perception check, please. Okay. So as you're putting the saddle on Maximus, you kind of fumble through it as you're watching Charlene with Bird. You were kind of unprepared for this. The saddle starts to slip off of Maximus's back, and you go to kind of catch it. And as you do, excuse me, your finger runs over something on the underside of that you have not noticed before. You flip it over, and you see an area of the saddle that looks like it's been cut open and restitched.
I pull out my knife and rip it open.
Okay. You rip it open. Inside, you find a folded piece of paper, and there's something on the inside of it, something hard and round.
You broke up as you said something. What?
Something hard and round.
Hard and brittle.
Let me type it.
Round.
Circular.
Gotcha. Every time you got to that word, you break up. Something hard and round. Okay. I take it out and gently open it just to see.
Okay, just to leave you in suspense, I'm going to leave the call and come back and see if that fixes my issue too.
Yeah, that's in a browser. If it's on a phone, it could be an app, though.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone else pretty well.
But I mean, my experience with Hangouts has been sporadic. Actually, my experience with every like communication kind of thing is kind of sporadic. There's never really like any that is like perfect.
Sometimes Discord's good, sometimes Skype's good.
Yeah, I've used Hangout, Skype, Discord, and every now and then when we move to that next one, it's always like, yeah, this is working, this is great, and then like it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Discord was like the new like chat for gamers, and I was just like, "What is this? There's a download to this? What?" Now I love it.
Well, did it work? Did it work, Chris?
I am green now. Do I sound better?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You see,
Say hard and round.
Hard and round.
Perfect.
I heard that.
Clear.
I feel so dirty right now.
All right, thank you, recording.
Sorry.
That
All right, that's going to be about 21 minutes, maybe 2050. Timestamp. Okay.
Okay, so let's refocus a little bit. By the way, Casey, you're about to get a message on Discord from someone, and the answer is yes. Go ahead. So you pull out this little packet of paper, and it appears to be a letter. And on the interior of the letter, when you open it up, is a diamond wedding ring.
A diamond wedding ring?
Yes, and it is small. It's not meant for a man.
Okay, what does the letter say?
Okay, that I am going to need to type out to you. So why don't we say that as you guys continue your role play, you are glancing at it every so often. And I'll have it typed out to you in a moment.
Okay.
So take it away.
Aramil saddles up as the horses are getting ready, looks to everyone, and says, actually, we should probably lead these to the city walls, and goes back down. Do you happen to know the way to get there, or are we going to search before we know where we would need to be?
Generally, we just know the direction. Once we get in that general area, I guess we'll have to just search.
Alright,
I'm
we'll
sorry.
trust you to lead us.
Do you remember the name of the town? Out of character.
No.
It was Gore, Gore.
Okay. So, Gore was the last place that they had it, or was that?
The caravan leader who you spoke to told you that they had stopped just outside of the town of Gore, which was about a 3-day travel north of. Now remember, this is at the rate that a caravan travels. And that's when they had gone and bedded down for the night, and then they saw the dark shadows flying overhead throughout the night, and the koala cats were missing in the morning.
Okay. So, yeah, we are going to be going towards Gore, and right around Gore was where the dark shadows came at night and, assuming, took the cats. But it could be something else related to that.
Dark shadows.
Yeah, that's what the people in the caravan noticed that night, that when they were camping, they saw dark shadows overhead, and then the next morning, the Quaddle cats were gone. And the Mother Koala Cat didn't know what happened either, so just knowing that there was a shadow the night before is pretty much all we know of what happened at the moment.
Wait, this is a quest that you've been given by an animal?
And some people, but yes, both.
Oh, okay.
It was both. The Koala Cat wanted her children, and the people wanted, I guess, what they consider their property.
Well, what are we waiting for? Everything's packed up.
Okay, and we head out.
Okay, so it's about 10 o'clock in the morning by the time you get the horses saddled up and the whole group heads out of town. Which direction are you heading?
Well, it is north, correct? Core?
Yes.
Yeah, so we head north in the direction of Core.
Okay. The roads are fairly clear leading out of them. First, you pass through the lower slums. Ironically, you walk by the Blackthorn Forest District, which there is now a sign saying exactly that. And I'm sure Zane struts a little bit as you guys pass. Looks like there's a lot of rebuilding going on and a lot of new construction. And what is coming up, although it's not fancy, it looks very stable. Still, these are the slums, and as you guys move through them, there's people who come up to you begging for money, for food, anything you're willing to get.
1 second.
What are you guys doing? Sorry, go ahead.
If Marcy's mother or family is going to give them bunch of gold.
Discord has just been ridiculous today, you guys. I'm sorry. Let me come back. Give me a second. Okay, I changed the region on the server. I wonder if that has something to do with it. How do I sound now?
Clear?
Crystal clear.
Clear.
Yay. Okay, we'll hope that that's a thing. We are now on the West Coast, you guys. Yay.
Can I see any families or like children, babies, mothers that are single?
There's a lot of them around everywhere you look.
I'll give a go to everyone I see. That's a family or mother.
Okay, and what do you do? How much?
A gold.
1 gold. Okay, so you guys are delayed a little bit as Kamara suddenly becomes a philanthropist and starts passing around money. Lots and lots of people start crowding around you guys, and it gets a little overwhelming at one point. Kamara, go ahead and mark 50 gold pieces off of your character sheet.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that it's going to take you guys a couple hours to get through the slums this way. So it's about noon by the time you make your way out of the slums and into the fields surrounding. You turn northwards and put your backs to the city and set out on your journey. So what I'm going to need from everyone is a perception check, and then Charlene, I need a survival check from you. Okay. Charlene, I need a survival check from you as well, since you're leading the...
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so the roads, as I mentioned earlier, the roads are pretty clear leading out of Amman, at least at this point they are. You don't have any trouble following the road, knowing the general direction that you're going. Aramel, you do notice as the kind of the civilization tapers down, that you start heading out of fields into more of a wooded area. And the day passes very uneventfully. It's about 4 o'clock in the evening when you are gazing off into the forest, thinking about how much cooler maybe it might be under the leaves of the tree as opposed to having the sun beating down on you. And you noticed something white that's kind of glinting and catching your eye through the trees. You can't be sure what it is from here.
Any feeling about whether it's unnatural, a gut feeling?
No, but whatever it is, it's rather large.
Aramil just keeps his eye on it.
It keeps its eye on you. No, I'm kidding. As you pass it, you pass it.
And as long as it doesn't seem out of place, he's going to leave it right there.
Okay.
And he's the only one that saw it?
He is the only one who saw it.
He is looking in that direction,
actually,
though.
should I roll perception for Fael?
You can do that. You can also roll a perception to see if you notice him gazing that direction or not.
Okay. I'll do Fael. That's Fael first. And yeah, I'll see if I notice him.
Okay. Give me just a moment.
Okay.
So Fael doesn't notice anything, but you do notice Aramel's gaze on the forest.
Aramel, what do you see?
Oh, Charlene. It's nothing to be concerned about. Nothing too abnormal, just something caught my eye.
Okay.
He'll point it out, describing where he's looking.
So Charlene, what you see is like something white and glimmery and very large through the copse of trees.
Okay, and since you said it's nothing to really worry about, I guess, do you want us to not disturb it?
I mean, if it's an animal minding its own in the forest, there's no reason to.
You haven't noticed it move. You've been walking by it for about 5 minutes now, and it is very still.
And if it's some sort of structure, it's not doing anything here. So.
No, if it is an animal, I think that I'd like to talk to it and We're still pretty close to a mound, so just wouldn't know anything about the koala cats, right?
You
We're
would
like,
know that you're not close at all. You have at
right.
least
Yeah.
half a day more of travel.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I could talk to it and see how it's doing, if it's an animal. If it's not, it won't take any extra time.
Okay, are you guys going to inspect it?
If you want to go talk to it, you should.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I top off of my horse and go over to it.
Okay. Because I'm feeling lazy, I'm just going to move all of you to the new map, but no meta because Charlene is the only one seeing.
I was gonna follow her. So
I'm gonna bust out lunch. Pull out stuff for everybody. Something small.
Oof.
So you walk into kind of an open glade, Charlene, and that is what you see.
So I look at that, and then I turn back over to them, and I wave them over to come with.
what does
Is
that?
Oh yeah, never mind.
And
Aramil
I
grabs the food from Randolphinius and moves over quite quickly. Takes a look. Not quite an animal. I was a little off.
Huh.
Okay, so let me describe what you're seeing. I think the map is pretty clear. But in this open glade, there looks like a giant groove in the ground that was made by something falling from the sky. And at the end of this groove is a 50-foot massive skeleton of something.
I want to look at it further.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself, and I'm gonna try to examine it and see if I could tell what type of animal it might be.
Okay. You can either do investigation or arcana.
Can I do Arcana?
Yes, you can.
No, 19.
16.
Okay. Kamara, it isn't hard to figure out that this is the skeleton of a massive dragon. Charlene, you are able to tell the same. You also notice that there are bite marks in the bones as if something has been feeding upon the skeleton.
Huh.
What do you all see?
Come over, it's the corpse of a dragon. Well, the skeleton of a dragon.
That's peculiar.
Could I tell, like, since it's just a skeleton at this point, could I tell how old it is? Or do I get the idea that the reason it's all skeleton is because it was, from the bites that I noticed, it was just picked clean?
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Okay.
It's been picked clean. The one thing that does stand out to you is the groove that it made. You feel like over time, the grass would have regrown and things like that. So it's apparent that this, while it may not have been like within the year, that this was rather within 5 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
My.
And from any of this structure, would I be able to tell, I'm assuming not, what type of dragon it might have been?
Nope, it is picked completely clean.
Is the landing, like, does it, where it landed, where it came from, towards Amon?
It is actually headed away from Amon.
Like, okay, it's like it was going towards Amon. The dragon was, or the dragon was heading away?
It's as
Heading
if the
away.
dragon was heading away, yeah.
That's okay, that's what I was getting at. Alright. Most peculiar indeed.
Yeah.
We should probably mark it so we remember where this is and we can look at it later.
I don't think this is you know who.
No, I don't think that it. Size-wise, it doesn't seem like it could be any, like, conclave or anything, right? It's smaller than that.
Let's look at those trees.
Smaller, he says, looking at the 50-foot long corpse.
Well, like, okay, so it's definitely, like, thorax-sized?
It's massive.
Yeah. Colossal right there, right?
Yeah, this might be the one that attacked this land.
Somebody might pay well for this information of this location.
Might pay well for some of the bones, whatever's left, too.
Even if it's the trophy of the head.
Yeah.
Sure,
I
the
don't
city
think
would
we should carry it right now,
No.
but if we mark a spot
Yes.
so we remember where it is, then
Sell it.
It's been here
if we need to.
for a decent amount of time, we assume, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's still here when we get back.
Lunch?
Sure.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
I'm gonna take like stick and try to make a marker, maybe like a cross or something along the road where it is, where you can see it, so that we can come back easily and find it.
Let's let the dead beast rest. No purpose in modifying or doing anything to the corpse, unless you think it's still magical.
It has magical essence on it.
We'll top back on the road. Be on our way.
Okay, so you guys mount back up onto your horse. Charlene in the lead with Zane right beside her. Zane, you were kind of in a hurry earlier to make your way through this through this journey, so you had tucked that letter in your pocket, and it's at this point that you decide to pull it out. I'm going to go ahead and share it with everybody, but you guys need to remember that only Zane is seeing this.
Okay.
If someone would like to read it aloud, feel free.
Zane. I wonder how long it would be before you come across this. I hope sooner rather than later. And I hope you are well. Not having you in my life is my biggest regret. It wasn't the choice I wanted to make, it's the choice I had to make. To maintain the sanctity of the crown. I loved your mother, and would have given this to her, had I been able. But she refused, knowing that it would be my downfall. She also refused to allow me in your life. After everything I had put her through, I could not refuse. But I did send people to watch over you and report back to me, though. I know more of you than you could ever imagine. I've watched you grow through others' eyes. I hope that you are wise enough to avoid the life I lived. If I can give you one piece of advice, it's this. If you find true love, give up everything for it, or you will spend an eternity in regret. So I gift you this ring, in hopes that you find happiness. I also send you Maximus, my prized friend, to keep you safe. And when you are ready, come to find me. Uriel Tardori.
Thank you for reading that, sparing my voice.
Zane tears up a bit and folds the ring, folds the note and ring up and puts it back in his pocket.
Charlene, I need a perception check for you. From you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not sure if it's kind of the evening wind that's hitting his face or and maybe just sunburn, the sun stinging his eyes, but you notice Zane get a little teary and you see him tuck away a letter.
Okay.
Are you reacting to that or are we moving on?
I think we could move on for now. She's going to bring it up later.
Okay, so it's about another hour. Actually, Summer, let's say it's about another 2 to 3 hours when the sun starts. Are you guys going to ride through the night or are you going to make camp?
I didn't pack camping gear for nothing.
Yeah, let's make camp. I've got some reading to do.
Okay.
I will set up camp.
This will not happen every time, but because this is quite literally your first time out of Amon since the game has started, I need you guys to role play setting up camp and tell me how it happens. Randolph Phineas, I'm assuming that you're taking the lead with it?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to roll me a survival check.
Survival. Copy.
Advantage because we're all up in there.
Don't worry. I didn't think I'd have to have survival.
You can't be perfect at everything.
Exactly. I'm, I look good doing it.
Okay, so describe to me all of the difficulties that occur when you guys are setting up camp.
So first off, I think I pick a wet spot probably, and start setting up the tents in the wet earth. And I put the fire too close to the sitting area, and the latrine is too close to the camp as well. It's just an awful first camp situation.
Is anyone helping him, or are you just kind of letting him do this?
I'm just gonna watch him.
I mean,
Aramil does the same.
Really?
Yeah, Aramil's not gonna help him set up camp. He literally just untucks his bedroll and he's sort of giving everyone a strange, confused look as his setup is already done. He just literally, grabbed like a string on his pack and everything came undone and he was ready.
Yeah, I was pretty much just sitting down and reading the tome, so I didn't even notice that all of this was going on.
Charlene literally dismounts her horse, walks a few feet, sits down, and starts reading a book, and is just oblivious to everything else.
Yep.
However, Fael, am I saying that right?
Yep.
Randolph Phineas, you know that you have a new admirer as she kind of hops around on the ground with her wings kind of spread, watching everything that you do.
I'll whistle a song for her while I work. Talk to her, interact.
She whistles back a little bit. And then she starts critiquing you.
Awesome.
Yes.
I will point out the mistakes in her reasoning, even if it's outlandish. It only makes sense to me.
So you guys see the scene of Randolph Phineas, the butler, and the awakened bird kind of going back and forth, quipping at each other. Makes for an entertaining 30-40 minutes while he struggles to set up the campus. All of you sit and watch. I mean, this is what they hired you for.
Yep.
Okay, so eventually you have a very inconsistent, kind of sloppy camp. The tent is kind of leaning to one side.
I start frustratingly making dinner, like aggressively cooking. I don't know if you've ever seen aggressive cooking, but that's what he's doing.
Okay.
What is he cooking?
Roll
Food.
me another
Whatever. Oh god.
Because we
At
have
disadvantage.
rations. We don't have fresh food.
Yeah, but I'm Randolph Phineas.
You guys watch as he aggressively cooks up the most amazing meal you have ever seen with nothing but rations and water. And then out of nowhere, he pulls out a silver platter, polishes it off, and puts a gourmet meal upon it.
Aramel just stares at it with his brows furrow. I'm fairly sure you used magic there.
While he's cooking, I want to try to fix the tent.
I'll pretend not to notice.
I do not fix the tent, but I tried.
What did you roll?
6.
Okay, hang on.
I do notice that.
Well, I'm gonna try a little bit. Then I notice I don't know what I'm doing, and then walk away and pretend I was just looking at it very closely, and that I didn't actually do anything.
That inspires him to cook him an amazing. That is inspiration to cook an amazing meal right there.
Kamara. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm finding this so humorous. I'm so overtired. As you start to walk away. Oh my god, okay.
This is great.
As you start to walk.
Get it out of your system.
There you go, yeah.
As you start to walk away, there is a massive crash. And you guys hear the bird screaming for help. As the tent collapses on her.
Oh my god.
Zane will run up and move the tent away to help.
You did a really bad job with that. I mean, you can't even stay up.
That I know. So I go over to help.
I've got to say, I've never seen such disorganized crap than what this is. We're gonna have a lot of camping going on, and I think we all need to.
It was just it's a bad setting. The ground is uneven over here, and the tree over there casts the shade here.
I'm not blaming you. I'm saying everybody needs to pitch in.
Dinner?
It smells good.
I hold up the tray to everybody and just kind of like smile. Let's just sit down and eat.
Okay, well, that
Fael, upon hearing this, immediately swoops over and grabs like a good portion of the food off the plate and flies away.
And
Can
I'll
you
serve
talk to-
everyone.
Can you talk to your friend, Charlene? We don't have enough rations for that bird to steal it every time we steal more than half of it before we've had a chance.
Oh, she could bring in food. She could learn to hunt.
yeah, she
She could be
was
very
able to
useful,
hunt
yeah.
before. She should be able to now. Just make sure she knows that she is allowed to go do that, because I realized that since she's been with orcs and then people, I think that she's been relying on getting food more than hunting for, and I kind of keep forgetting that because I see her as a orc, so I'm like, oh, she could do that, but
Hence why you should talk with her.
I definitely have to. Yes.
I'm right here.
Tell her.
I'm right here. I can hear everything you say.
Chrissy, you,
I'm
you
right
said
here.
that she flew away.
Not that far.
Oh, in that case, yeah, that wouldn't have happened, and I would have turned her back.
Sorry.
I thought she flew away. No worries. Okay, so yeah.
Zane would have said that either way.
You can
Okay.
bring your food to me, and I will cook you something nice, my dear.
Fael, are you able to hunt?
Yes. Mice. Rabbit. Cat.
Oh no,
No.
never be a cat.
For now, let's stick with mice and rabbit and not go with cat, okay?
Okay. She flies back over and drops the food back on the platter, but it's kind of covered in grass and like sticks, a little bit of dirt.
You can keep that. Well,
Oh, okay. She picks it back up and flies away again, lands about 10 feet out and starts ripping into it. But now there's stuff all over your gourmet.
Oh, Fael.
so yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna take some food and then I'm gonna sit next to Fael and just like pat her on the head.
Are the rest of you partaking?
Did Charlene fix the tent yet?
No, no one has fixed the tent. It's
All right, Aramil
still like
will.
a mess of poles.
He'll hammer the pikes into place and balance the poles properly using his quarterstaff.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. Aramil silently kind of gets this tent set up. He makes it look really easy, Randolph Phineas.
I pay attention to everything he's doing.
Noted.
You notice that he makes sure that the poles are upright before trying to secure the python such that you don't accidentally tug it down while you're hammering it in.
It's weird that you know how to do that, Aramel, since you only sleep in a sack.
I've lived outside for a good portion of my life. Traveled between the south and north of the continent. It's not too strange to learn how to set up a tent. I don't prefer one though.
Yeah, I would think that you never use a tent, but good on you.
I would think if it rained or snowed, if there is snow where you were.
I would think Aramel would like that. He would welcome it, right? Right, Aramel? You'd want it to rain.
I wouldn't want to go against nature.
Exactly. That's why he sleeps in a sack.
I also do not sleep. I sometimes use it for warmth if it's cold. But I don't need it to close my eyes and shut off my bodily functions. All that I need is a few hours to focus.
Forgive me. He meditates in a sack.
I think that it's closer to meditating on the sack most of the time.
Semantics. I think it's about time to go to bed.
Okay, I am curious as
Must-
to who is going to be eating this food.
I am, as I said.
I'll eat the food.
My gosh, I hope everybody will.
Is there anyone who is not partaking?
And by the way, by now I would already know all preferences, and if there were any like non-meat eaters or whatever, like they would have meals prepared exactly what they would want. I want that noted.
Aramel takes a look at the reconstituted rations and sort of pokes it curiously and then just grabs some with his hand and eats it.
Aramel, it's actually really, really good. It's not quite minxy quality, but considering the fact that he threw this together, like with basic rations, you're actually a little surprised. I won't say how you feel, but
Well, he'll scarf it down quickly and nod to Randolphinius.
See, the sword's paid for itself already.
okay. And because I feel like this is a thing, since you guys hired a butler and a guide to lead you, you should benefit from that. So everybody now has 5 hit points, temporary hit points that are going to last for the next 24 hours
Nice.
from the amazing meal that Randolph Phineas.
Awesome.
If you guys are going to go straight to bed and not talk, go ahead. But if you are going to conversate, take it.
We need to set up a watch.
I'll take first watch.
I will take last watch and make breakfast for everyone.
I'm gonna stay up for a bit and work on some more reading.
I can take whatever watch is needed. It seems like second, and I can even spend some time looking around after that. I don't need much time to rest.
How long through the day have we been traveling? Were we traveling?
You
It's
exited
10.
at Amon. Yeah, you left at about 10, got out of Amon at about noon. And I would say it's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock now.
Okay.
We're getting up at dawn.
Charlene, how's that book?
It's coming along. I feel like I'm gonna need to read faster if I'm able to get everything I need to learn out of this soon.
What's in it?
A lot of stuff. There's a lot of philosophy and I guess trying to understand how other people think and things like that.
Charlene, you find that that the book is particularly hard to read. As you finish a sentence, it disappears. And as you look at the pages, if you're not super focused, the words just kind of swim across the page. It feels almost like when you read it, it's there, but the moment you turn your attention away, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very odd feeling.
And obviously, when we bought it, we know that it's magical. It's interesting the way that acts when I read it. Definitely, like, when you read it, you could tell that it's me. I'm reading it, and I don't even know how to explain it to you, but when I'm reading it, 1 second the words that I'm reading are there, and then it just disappears after I finish reading. It's as if the knowledge in this book is only there for the moment for you to absorb it, and then it's like it's in you and no longer in the book.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Well, you'll have to share when you're old.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see it and it won't just all be in my head, because that's the way that it kind of seems like it's going to be, that once I read it, that those words are gone and only in my head.
Kamara,
Mhm.
roll me a d4, please.
One.
As you're sitting around the campfire, you feel a massive lack of warmth in your arms, and you can't help but think about Castellano.
I'm just gonna go right to bed as soon as I'm done eating.
Where do you go to bed? Are you going to the tent?
Yeah. And in the tent, my brain is going crazy. I'm going to cast Sending and then sing my song to her, but not so anyone can hear it.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
No one can hear it though.
You don't get to tell the DM that you're singing a song and then not sing the song. We have been over this.
I sing my epic bard song. Everybody heard that.
Totally.
Okay, I won't put you on the spot.
No, I actually wrote it down. I'm just trying to remember how I did it. Because I used my mom's song when I was a baby, when I was a kid. Okay. Castellana, go to sleep, my dear child. You're always on my mind and forever in my heart. Go to sleep, Castellana. I love you so. And that's 20 words, so.
Perfect.
Very nice.
And you hear back, Mama? 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 And then a bunch of gobbledygoo kind of Googles. You know what I'm trying to say, Googles.
Google.
Who was breathing heavily and snorting during that whole thing? Was anyone that heard that?
I'm
No.
muted.
I heard.
You
Could be
might want to
entire-
look over your shoulder because none of us heard that.
Yeah.
Actually, no one did. What?
No, definitely coming from this.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
You guys notice Castellana retreat into the tent. By the way, what size tent is this?
They look like about one person tents. Look at the bedrolls compared to the size of the tent. You know.
No, the tent that you bought.
Oh,
You can just tell me what it was. I'm fine.
I don't remember.
That's fine. Just tell me what you want it to be.
We'll have a bunch of one-person tents. I like this setting, so it makes sense.
Okay.
Spartan.
So she disappears into one of the tents. Looks like you and Aramil are having a conversation. Go ahead and roleplay that.
Yes, Aramel. I just had a quick question. You seem very knowledgeable in all sorts of things.
I have lived for a few years. I have studied, but honestly, there's a lot of subjects that elude me. But if you need help with something, feel free to ask.
Yeah, okay. Well, he'll be kind of fiddling with the ring on his finger, and he'll hold it up to you. And he'll say, "You know the items we got. I just am I've heard that you have to like connect to certain magical items, and I just don't know how to activate it, and I didn't know who to ask. What should I do?"
Interesting question. I don't deal much with magic. Uh, these that were made for me, once you spend time with them, uh, you can almost come to learn what they do naturally. Other than that, if that doesn't happen, you should probably ask someone who's more experienced with magic.
He'll kind of glance over at Kamar's tent. Say, maybe I'll do that. Thank you. Good night. He'll walk away and start cleaning up for the evening before bed.
He nods. He'll look to Randolphinius and say, "I'm going to see if I can find anything surrounding here during the first watch, and I'll be back in time for the second."
I will let Jay know.
And he'll walk into the forest.
I'm gonna say to Fail, if he is willing to have the company, why don't you keep him company?
Who is he? Aramil?
Yeah, she nods to Aramel.
She hops off your shoulder, flies over, lands on Aramil's shoulder, assuming he lets.
Sure.
Which,
he'll
thank
nod.
goodness you have the cloak on.
Yes. So Aramel's usual description is, he wears just a vest, an open vest, and that's it, and cloth pants, sandals. But he has a cloak now covering his shoulders. It has patches on it. He hasn't looked at them too hard. But yes, he'll nod and he'll speak. Fail.
Yes.
You have sharp eyes.
Yes.
Come help me find some of these red berries in the area.
Okay, I'll eat berries.
He nods.
Okay. Josh, do you have a character sheet yet for Fail?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a perception for her.
Okay.
Okay, so she takes off. Even in the dark, she doesn't have much trouble navigating. She disappears, Aramel. It's about 5 minutes later when she flies back. And she has a berry in her beak and a couple in her claws, and she kind of just drops them in front of you. It's kind of an assortment. Some of them are red, some of them are blue, One of them's actually a spider. But they're all berry shaped.
He
The spider one is especially plump.
he gently puts the spider onto a leaf and continues his own search. He'll use his Wanderer class feature to find something, if you don't mind.
Sure, as soon as you turn your back, she flies up and eats the spider. Go ahead.
Do you want to roll
Okay.
too?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll just to see how successful you are. I'm going to give you advantage on that. Yeah, you find some berries. You find a turtle, kind of at the edge of a little creek. You could, I guess, deshell it and cook it if you wanted to.
He drops a berry for it.
Turtle eats the berry, looks at you.
And he'll
That's
continue.
about it. Okay. So who's taking first watch?
Zane was.
What are you doing during your watch? Are you just watching, or are you focusing on anything else?
My attention's kind of split between staying watch and
So I think that Charlene is going to also be up during this watch. Mostly she's going to be reading, but noticing that Zane is up, she's going to like go over to him and sit down next to you and read. And do you still like look at your note and stuff with you there?
if you sit next to her, he casually pretends to finish reading it and then puts it back in his.
Okay. So, while you're reading, she's just going to stop for a second and go. So, what was the note?
From my father.
Oh, do you want to talk about it? Was seeing that dragon, did that bring up bad memories of what happened to your father?
Not necessarily bad memories, but I wasn't there to witness it, but it did bring it to mind. He gifted me Maximus. I actually didn't know that. Well, I guess I kind of did, but just confirmation.
Oh, that makes sense.
He gave me some advice. I think it's some pretty good advice about love.
As you say the word love, you feel something wet on the back of your neck. And you turn around to see Maximus standing there. He just gave you a big old slurp.
Maximus, I love you.
And you realize that no one took the time to desaddle the horses or feed the horses. They're all just kind of standing there, waiting expectantly.
Did nobody do this? Well, let me take care of this. I'm going to go and desaddle all the horses and get them coming. Has anybody fed them yet? I'll feed them.
Maximus shakes his head.
Sure, Charlene is going to help you with that.
As you hear snores from the butler's tent. Okay, are you guys doing anything else?
So, from what I understand when Mina was talking about it, those horses are quite a gift, aren't they?
Yes. This is a very special horse.
Well, yes, that I know. But if that was from your father, I guess his side is the more rich and powerful noble, I assume.
My mom never told me much about him.
Oh yes, that's right. You said that you didn't grow up with him a lot, right?
Yes. I actually never met him. Oh yeah, he lied to you when he said he didn't know.
Do you want to roll a deception?
Nope.
And Rand, I'm copying what she said to me and was.
Okay, so the lie was specifically that you never met him?
The lie was specifically that my mother never talked much.
Okay.
It was after
Awesome.
it was after you had asked. Oh, is he, he's probably a pretty wealthy noble, and it's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. My mother never talked about it.
Oh, okay. What has she told you about him?
You're uh, you're asking a lot of questions about my past, Charlene. Is there something I should know?
Oh, no, I just don't really know a lot about you, and honestly, I don't know a lot about your culture. It's honestly weird that, like, some people have more power than other over others, other than just because they're more knowledgeable or more skilled in a certain area. Like, I don't understand.
Well, if somebody is
Mm,
wise um, and experienced, they tend to be able to make decisions for the good of all. They tend to make right decisions, if they are, of course, not corrupt or evil in any way.
right. Like, that part I understand, but it being based off of birth is a strange concept.
Well, if you're born into wealth, you have wealth. I I I don't like it myself. Um, and I mean, to be honest, that the way I was raised, I don't feel like I was raised in wealth. I mean, I never had a empty belly, and I always had a roof over my head, so it's better than most. But frankly, I mean, I felt like I was a prisoner for most of my childhood.
Well, I feel like, as we were talking about being wise and making the right decisions, if it means anything, I think that you generally are wise, and I think more often than not you do make the right decisions.
Thank you, Sherwin. I I appreciate it. I I try.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Maximus and the other horses are eating behind.
Well, to answer your other question, Yes, I would assume my father was fairly wealthy.
That makes sense. And I continue reading.
Okay, Zane, are you doing anything else?
As long as she's reading next to me, I'm just going to poke the flames and maybe
Keep an eye out.
keep an eye out and chew on whatever leftovers are.
You're starting to just feel hungry when you glance to the side and notice another tray of food that has a note on it from Randolph Phidias that says, "For when you get hungry later."
Interesting.
Go ahead and roll me one perception check, please. Did we
Yeah.
lose a Casey? I think we lost a Casey. Zane, it's a beautiful night. You can see every star up in the sky. It's been a long time since you've been out this far outside of a city. The last time was when you made your way to Iman. You're able to look up and see the two moons of Exandria high up above you. One of them casting kind of a faint pinkish glow, the other more of a yellow. You kind of get lost a little bit in the stars for a moment, and then you notice an odd thing, little lights all around you, and you kind of stop your stargazing to notice that there's fireflies kind of surrounding the camp. Harmless, not doing anything, but it makes kind of a nice sight. Aramil, what are you doing?
After gathering berries, he returns to camp and offers some to the horses.
Okay, they happily eat them.
Then he goes to sit down by the fire as his as his scheduled watch shows up. He'll nod to Zane, be a little surprised, but not disturb Charlene reading.
Zane will nod back and head into his tent.
And
Okay.
during his watch, Aramil will try to feel if Lysander is present.
I was wondering if you would remember your promise.
Why would I forget it? He very briefly closes his eyes, searching for that mental link as he does some deep breathing exercises. More perceptive than usual, but he doesn't really act on anything he hears, as he's very slowly slowing his breathing, making it more rhythmic.
Okay. It takes you about 5 or 10 minutes before you start to feel like before you calm down enough to kind of open up mentally and you feel that connection link again. And you get pulled in right away. It's a little bit dizzying, but you feel his happiness that you actually are doing this. And like he did the last time you saw him, he actually pulls you in to the point where you're looking through his, and he is in some kind of it looks like a theater, and he's looking around. There's the lights are out and there's some kind of performance going on. He glances over next to him and you see Belair, who is looking rather bored. He's kind of holding a piece of paper and fanning himself and looking at people rather than watching the stage. But Lysander turns back to the stage and his attention is rather rapt on what is going on. And you realize it's sort of like, I don't know what it would have been called in that era, but it's sort of like a ballet. And you can
I have
sense
the word for this, actually.
What's the word?
It's like, oh man, my brain is not bringing it up, but I just had to do this. Never mind. Continue.
If you remember it later, message it to me. A medieval ballet. But it's not as much a performance of like a play or anything like that as it is just of the dancing itself. And he greets you without words. And basically the gist that you get is, thank you. I'm glad you're safe.
And he'll try and leave comforting warmth and the smell of the forest as his as he tries to sort of give back what he would be feeling, even though he doesn't feel them right now. But he actively imagines what he would be feeling. And then he would convey that he doesn't want to hold him while he's in the middle of something. And he'll try again tomorrow to see if he's still in range.
He'll try what?
He'll try tomorrow again to see if he's still in range.
Okay, roll me a d4, please. Okay. This is a very different feeling from any time you have been near him and had this. You can feel immediately that it's draining on him. He's managing to hold it. But that's part of the reason why you end up telling him that you're going to let him go. Because you can feel that it's hard on him mentally. But he doesn't seem to regret it. He glances over at Vale again, and Vale at this time is staring at him and asks if everything is okay. He nods, and he tells you mentally that he's looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow, and then the connection drops. Kamara, this is right about the time that you are woken from your sleep by a voice in your head that says, "Oh, the irony. You won't give her to me, but you leave her all alone, in the hands of a man you barely know."
You talk to me now. I trust her more than you.
I wouldn't do wrong by her. I told you how I'd raise her.
But you took her. You take her from me.
You made a bargain.
And I'm out of it.
That's what you think. Have a good night, dear one. And then it disappears. Okay, Aramel, go ahead and roll me a perception. Okay. You hear Kamara muttering in her tent. You hear some snoring coming from Brandolph Aeneas's tent. You hear wolves howling. You hear some owls. At one point, you think you hear something pretty large moving through the trees. You kind of get up and look around and realize that it's a deer. But that's how your evening passes. And who was taking the final watch?
I
am.
do. Sorry. Can I say something?
Yeah.
I do want to look through Castellanos' eyes for 10 minutes.
Okay. At this point, you use the earring that Mina made, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. She's sitting in a crib. You see kind of a rocking chair next to her, and there's a woman. You recognize her as Anne, the one with the brown hair and the gray silver temple, who seems to be reading a book to her. And she's sitting up in the crib, kind of playing with some toys while the nanny reads. It's not very interesting, but it's comforting. And you recognize it as Vale's room.
Using that to calm down so I can sleep the rest of the night.
Okay, so fast forwarding to Randolph Phineas's watch, yes?
Also, the word review is maybe what you're looking for. It's like a story told through song and dance. It's generally old.
Okay, thank you.
And he will go into the tent of Randolph Phineas and very gently nudge him until he's awake. He'll pull out his quarterstaff and just slowly start moving him.
As you do this, Charlene heads to her tent as well.
I'm up. Now I get up and I'll start, as they're going to sleep, I'll start quietly packing up things for the morning, and then as it gets closer to the morning, like the end of, closer to dawn, he's going to start cooking breakfast and making coffee.
Okay. Aramel, you head to bed?
Yeah, he's going to trance sitting next to the fire.
Okay. You kind of hear a little bit of noise as you start trancing, the sound of Randolph Phineas moving around, starting to make breakfast. Hang on one second. Guys, I'm just too tired to type. I'm trusting you not to meta at all. Randolph Phineas, give me a stealth check. Okay. Aramel, what's your passive perception?
15.
Zane, what is your passive perception?
15 as well.
Okay. Aramel, at one point through your trancing, you are kind of roused a little bit as you see Randolph Phineas heading into Zane's tent. Randolph Phineas, you kind of pull back the flap of the tent, and as you're walking through, the pommel of your sword kind of gets caught on the tent flap and makes a little more noise that you had intended. Zane, you wake to see him entering the tent.
You see that he sleeps with his sword, his gold sword at his side, and when you turn back after trying to unhook your sword, you see that he's awake and that the sheath is just slightly open, and he says, "What can I do for you, Rand?"
Oh, my apologies, my lord. I was just getting an early start to the day and was going to pack the things into your saddlebags before I started breakfast. I didn't mean to wake you.
It's perfectly fine. I can take care of it. Thank you.
Yes, my lord. And he'll back away and start to continue to pack up everything that he won't wake somebody up.
So you start packing all the outside gear instead?
Pretty much, yeah, and like bedrolls that are out that aren't being used, and camping gear besides what's going to be used for breakfast, so we can just leave as soon as everyone's eaten and packed up what they were sleeping in.
Okay, make me a perception check.
And I will take care of the horses to be ready to go.
Okay. You see the sun starting to crest over the horizon. The two moons kind of fade into the background. The stars disappear. Off in the distance to the north, it looks like a little bit of a storm is brewing. You see kind of a dark area. At this point, you can't really tell how far it is away. Go ahead and roll me a survival check for saddling up the horses, just because I like to pick on you. Okay, we'll see how this plays out. Okay. Okay, so you guys break camp. If there's anything you want to do, tell me. Otherwise, we're just going to move along.
Aramil will pass out potions to everyone. 3 greater and 1 superior, and he'll give the supreme to Zane. And he'll nod and he'll say, "For our journey, we may need these. Better to keep them on hand than stored away."
Thank you. He'll put them in his pack.
What did you say you cut out?
What were you handing out us again?
3 greater healing potions, 1 superior, and Zane gets 1 supreme. The one that was given by, why can't I say Gilmore? Gilmore.
You can say Gilmore.
Okay, so 3 great each, 1 superior each.
1 superior to Zane, and
1 superior to everyone. 1 supreme, which is the highest to Zane.
Okay, so with potions passed out, breakfast eaten, Fael sitting on the pommel of Charlene's saddle, you guys mount up and make your way back on the road. Let's see. Kamara, roll me 1d5. Do it in Discord. Or not Discord, in Roll20.
Yeah, because there's no 1d5s anymore. I rolled a 1d6. Sorry.
Yeah, re-roll a d5. Okay. Charlene.
Yes.
You guys are riding along. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Whoopsie.
You're about an hour into your journey when suddenly the saddle on your horse just kind of slides to the side. And you and the saddle just fall to the ground.
How?
Oh.
You take 4 points of damage, bludgeoning.
Charlene, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I, stand up and, rub my back and, my head and stretch a little. Yeah, I'm good.
What happened?
I don't know, my saddle just seemed to come undone.
Who set up the saddles?
I'll jump down from my horse, and I'll rush over to the horse, and I'll turn it around. It's like, oh, Charlene, I'm glad you're okay. Here, let me show you how you're supposed to cinch these up. And I'll cinch it up the right way, and I'll pat her on the shoulder, and I'll say, there you go. Are you okay?
Yes, thank you.
I'd like to insight that.
I'd like to deceptify that.
I'm not gonna roll for insight. I'm just gonna say, Charlene, next time you need help, just ask.
Charlene's rubbing the bump that's growing on her head. Like, what?
It looked like it was already set up. I didn't actually check. Yeah, that wasn't my bad.
Kamara, Randolph Phineas seems super concerned about Charlene, and he really thinks that she should do a better job of saddling up her horse.
Yeah, I definitely should have checked.
It's okay, Charlene. Next time, just ask for some help.
Yeah, here, let me help you on your horse.
Thanks.
Lady. Here.
Okay. So you guys mount back up. You get back on track. It's about noon when you see a town in the distance. And Fael. Do you have Fael on your saddle all day, or what are you doing with her?
So I do specifically tell her, feel free to fly around, and if you see any specifically any rodents or rabbits that you want to eat, you could feel free to hunt. And I also tell her, if at any point you see anything that looks like a cat, especially if it has wings, let me know.
Okay. So it is about noon when she flies back to you, lands on the pommel of your saddle, and tilts her head and looks at you. No eat, cat.
Oh, but you saw a cat.
She nods her head.
Did it by chance have wings?
She nods her head. Yummy, cat.
Guys, Fayol might have found something. Fayol, why don't you show us where that is?
She looks off in a direction. She kind of moves her wings, but she hasn't figured out like how to point. She's still working out this whole smart bird thing. But she kind of like thrusts her beak in one direction and then jumps off the pommel into the air and starts flying.
And I ride after her.
Same.
Okay, give me one moment. Okay, through the course of the day, the terrain has gotten not exactly mountainous, but just a little bit hilly. It's still kind of like a mixture of grasslands and forests, with some ridges kind of where it starts inclining. You can see a town off in the distance, as I mentioned, and then far beyond the town, you see the peaks of the mountains of Craghammer. But that is far, far off in the distance. Fayo leads you to kind of this rocky glen and stops and lands back on the pommel of Charlene's saddle and says, "Over there."
Thanks, Fayol. And from where we are, could we see what looks like a nest or something?
Yep, you see what you see. There's two small white cats sitting in the nest. Both of them have white wings, and they appear to be sleeping.
Okay. And both of those, they do look like quaddle cats?
They look very much like the cat that you saw at the menagerie.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace with the staff. And then I'm going to start walking slowly over. I'm going to dismount and slowly start heading my way towards that. I'm going to roll my stealth, and this is a +10. So 25.
Okay.
I want to walk with her.
Aramil will follow as well, stealthily moving.
Okay. Don't move too far, Charlene, please.
Okay.
Is everybody moving?
Yes.
Well, I'm riding Maximus, but I'm going to since I can probably close a distance pretty easy. I'll just stay a bit in obscurity and watch from far.
I will definitely follow stealthily.
Okay, so everyone is making pretty good stealth checks. And it's for that reason that when this happens, you don't appear to be noticed. Give me just a second. As you're kind of sneaking through the forest to get a better look, you notice a shadow up above you and it flies over you. And this lands on the map. And drops something into the nest. And a moment later, a second shadow passes overhead.
These are definitely not the Coatl cats. These are chimera babies.
I think that the chimeras might think that Coatl cats are their babies.
You hear kind of meow, meow, meow.
I think that they might have kidnapped the Coatl cats, thinking that they're the babies.
What do chimera babies sound like? Do they meow?
Who would know that?
Can you talk to them?
Should I make a nature check to see if I would know what they would sound like?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Nope.
Charlene, I'll say you don't know what a chimera would sound like, but you recognize the sound of a cat.
Actually, I think my next question to UDM is, now that she sees the chimera, does she still believe that Coatl cats are things that exist? Or does she think maybe even the mother that she found might be a chimera?
So first of all, I want to say you're making a very large assumption in what it is that you're seeing. If Charlene believes that it's a chimera, then maybe it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlene has not encountered one of these before.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
these. Hang on one second, Pasta. These are huge. There is no way that they are related to the cat that you saw at the menagerie. I mean, other than the fact that they both have 4 legs and a tail and they're kind of furry. But these creatures have thick manes, they have barbed tails, and leathery wings.
Okay.
They do seem quite enamored by the little babies in the nest.
Mm-hmm.
They probably stole the babies. Maybe they left the room.
Is there a way to distract them without having to fight these things? You can distract them, take the babies, and try to hide. They
We could maybe watch and see if they leave again.
As you're talking, the one kind of lays down in the nest, wrapped around the 2 little babies. The other kind of sits to the side watching.
The only way we can do that is if we have something that's scary that could harm the babies. Because those are parents.
May we make a check to confirm the correct identity of the creature in character? Someone that may have studied it before. Even though they're not physically encountered.
Very true. I am metagaming.
I don't recall any of you doing a lot of studying in your background. I will let you all roll.
But
I don't know. Would it be more of an arcana or a nature? I'll let you all roll an arcana check, but it's going to be a very difficult check.
we can tell that they look totally different, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Coatl cats are white and fluffy and adorable, and they have big wings.
So we would know they're not the same. We just don't know what.
You can
they
absolutely tell that they are not of the same race.
Yeah, 14 for me.
And Aramil did have to study to get part of his weapon, but not magic for sure. If they're nature, he may know it. If it's magical, he probably wouldn't.
Okay. Randall, Phineas? You believe that you may have come across something about one of these at some point.
My studies, probably.
Yeah. You think that this may be something called a manticore.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just looking in awe. And they're huge, right?
And they're large.
Alright.
Charlene, you could make a monster come, can't you? Like one of the octopus.
Does anyone have a passive perception over 11?
Yes.
A lot
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
I think we know.
13.
Mine was 18.
You start hearing noises in the forest behind you.
Turn to look at them.
Word.
Okay. And what you see is a third manticore coming up behind you
On the ground?
on the ground.
And does it look like it's watching us because we're not in the thickest of
Zane's
thicket?
the only one, yeah, and plus there's horses back there.
Let's say it's sneaking up on your horses. I'm going to move you guys just a little bit to make some room for this. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to say it's about 40 feet off the map headed your direction. It seems it's actually focused on the horses right now.
Just since I'm the closest, I'll probably pissed to somebody, and say, distraction back here.
Did he say make a distraction?
I think
We
so.
need a distraction back here.
What if we
Real
take this one
quick.
down first, and he'll pull out his quarterstaff?
From my knowledge of the Manticore, do I know of any like natural enemies of the Manticore?
I
Or,
won't say
like,
that you know much about it. You
predator?
just recall the description of.
Okay.
Since this one's interested in the horses, I could make a bunch of horses that might trample the babies that it'll make them all notice.
What size area do the horses encompass?
Probably. I mean, we're talking 5 horses. I'm assuming you guys dismounted and hitched them, although we didn't cover that. So technically, you should still be riding them, but I'll let that slide. Probably like a 10, 15 foot area.
Okay.
But as time is passing, it is sneaking up on the horses.
I
It's now about 10 feet from them.
I waved
I
my hands really quickly. I apologize. I was figuring out the space for this.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to roll initiative. You guys will get a sneak attack round because of your high stealth rolls.
Okay.
And I will have to ask you guys to forgive me. You know how long it's been since we've done a combat. Ignore this as I pull it onto the map. I just need to give initiative. Of course, it would crit on the initiative. Not showing up. Hang on. No, because I wasn't rolling initiative. It's for initiative not on these character sheets. That's funny. Okay. Okay, what we're going to do for right now, because I was not prepared for this kind of scenario with the horses and everything, is we are going to say that he is right about there and that the horses are like right above him here.
Okay.
At this point, it does not seem to have noticed you. It is still focused on your horses. So
I want to cast Stone Bolt and hit a tree away from the horses.
okay, we'll do that on initiative order. First up is Aranel.
Alright, Aramel's gonna smack this thing. It's in the forest, it's not natural, it's gone. He very silently moves unseen behind it, and he hits it with his 3-section quarterstaff at 19 as he breaks his stealth.
Okay, so this thing is like crouching and about to leap on one of your horses when Aramel sort of just appears out of nowhere and cracks it across the head with his quarterstaff at advantage because of the stealth. That is a hit. Roll your damage, please.
He'll apply his stunning strike to this as well. And use another point of key to flurry.
Use another point of key to what?
Flurry of blows? That's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah, flurry of blows. To take extra attacks later. So it has to make a DC 13 Constitution save to avoid the stun.
Okay, it fails.
Excellent, so it is stunned, and he's going to continue his attacks. They're all going to be at advantage now because it's stunned.
Keep rolling. Okay, they all hit.
And I don't believe it can actually make a dex save when it's stunned, can it?
Pull up that spreadsheet and check it for me.
automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, so he's gonna smack this thing prone as well. As he sort of, it freezes up and he almost like kicks it out from under its legs when it can't properly defend itself, and it just falls on the ground shaking. He'll end his turn on the other side of the beast.
Okay, we're gonna say that symbol is the prone symbol. Okay, so that's your turn. You guys see Aramil walk up and kind of whack the heck out of this beast. It looks hurt. Looks like it's pretty hurt. And it falls to the ground. And as it does, it roars. God, I can't say that. It lets out a... What's another word for it?
Ow.
A terrifying howl. Thank you. It howls, and the other manticores up in the nest look up.
You also can only falteringly speak when you're stunned. I don't know if that's going to change what it does, because the first attack stunned it. Up to you, though. I mean, speak falteringly could be a roar, could be a whimper, could be enough to be seen.
I mean, no, I don't quite agree with that. I mean, you fall down and get stunned, you can still yell. You just can't move. But we'll discuss that after the session. For now, I'm going to make the call on it, and we'll move on. Okay, Kamar.
I'm gonna cast Stone Bolt on the creature now, and I don't get advantage anymore.
Kamar's like, dang it, Aramil.
Yeah. 15 plus 9, whatever. That's
a hit.
24, right? Yeah. 3D. Horrible damage. 7.
Okay, tell me what Stone Bolt looks like.
I pick up a stone, and I just kind of use something like a stupid stick and just throw it right at it. And it just does way more damage than you would think. Well,
I'm going to say you throw it at it, and there's kind of a magical swirl of energy around it that makes it grow as it flies across the glade, and by the time it hits the manticore, it's like the size of a small boulder. How does that sound?
I liked a little thing doing a lot of damage, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Charlene.
Okay, I am going to run up to it, and then I'm going to turn into a giant constrictor snake and attack it.
Okay.
And could you make me a large creature? Yep. Thank you. Oof, for 15, does that hit?
That matches its AC.
Nice. Okay. So it is now grappled, and I do 11 magical damage to it.
Okay.
And I just wrap around its head.
Yeah, you see it kind of get smothered in this green snake body. You see its eyes kind of bulging out of its head as it starts to get constricted. That your turn?
Yes.
Randolph Phineas.
My turn? Alright, I'm not gonna cast that spell that I had originally cast. sorry, I haven't fought with this character yet. I'm still kind of getting used to what's
It's
going
okay.
on. Those ones that we were looking at in the beginning with, did they look over at us? Are they like preparing
Yes,
to
they
come
are
here?
looking at.
Alright, can I'm going to. Am I still hidden stealth, or do they see me?
You are.
Okay. I'll just hold. I'm gonna hold an attack action as well as the bonus that goes with it, if that's okay.
You can only hold the attack action.
Alright.
Yeah, you can't hold movement or bonus.
Yeah, I'll hold the attack action for now. I'm still getting used to the character. Sorry.
It is absolutely okay. Don't worry about it. So that's your turn.
That's
What
to win
action are
one of
you
these.
holding now?
I'm gonna hold a ranged attack action on one of these if they get within, let's say, 30 feet.
Okay, as long as you realize if you hold a spell, you lose the spell if you don't use
No,
it.
it's not a spell.
Okay. Zane.
All right. I guess I'll ride over and help out. They seem to be taking care of it pretty well, but the other two haven't gotten over here yet. Do I have stats for Maximus?
Did I ever make a character sheet for him? Let me double check.
If not, would he be considered a riding horse, a draft horse, or a war?
Well, at this point, he's not a warhorse yet because you haven't finished his training. However, as a cavalier, you do have the ability to control him really well during combat. Do you have the stats for a regular riding horse pulled up?
I do.
Okay, let's go with those for today's combat, and we'll discuss it afterwards.
Since I haven't had to use, I've never had to use mounted combat before. Does he get to have an attack as well?
Not as a regular horse. He's not trained for combat. He's basically, right now, he's just a mount. He can get you places faster, and I believe that you get advantage against creatures because of your cavalier.
Yep,
You get advantage. Yeah.
I get advantage on melee attack rolls against an unmounted creature that is smaller than my mount. So I wouldn't get advantage on this creature, but I do get an advantage because it's.
Exactly. Just don't roll the one, or you're gonna hit Charlene.
Don't double ones. It's like some people on their stealth getting us killed by zombies.
Okay, unfortunately, the first swing, you pull back at the last second because you realize it is going to hit Charlene. You change your tactic from slashing to stabbing. So you kind of turn your sword backwards and under your arm and stab into it. And the second one is a hit.
Oh, okay, so 17 doesn't hit.
You know what? Sorry. I wasn't paying attention. You're right. Advantage. Yes, they both hit. I apologize.
Okay, cool. So 15 and 8.
Okay. You stab into it twice or slash into it twice. And Charlene, you feel it grow limp underneath your coils, and it is dead.
Did I actually kill a thing? I beat Aramil to it! Woo!
Don't sound too excited.
Aramil's like, don't you get used to this.
We'll see about that. I'm cocky now, and I'm gonna try to kill everything.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zane, is that your turn?
I still have movement left, so I guess I'll use the rest of that movement to move closer to the other manticores. I moved from there, and I did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So right.
Okay, up front like the brave warrior. So we are now at the top of the round. The two manticores are definitely focused on you. And in the distance, you guys hear the flapping of wings. Aramel, it's your turn.
What is a colony of freaking manticores? What the fuck?
Jeez.
Move up to here, and then Aramil will ready for an attack, and he'll dodge.
Okay.
No
So-
bonus.
Okay, is that your turn?
End turn, yes.
Okay, so manticore. Let's give them some colors here. So evil looking red manticore takes flight.
Time to slaughter this happy family. Bye-bye.
It's got 50 feet of movement. Oh. Okay, the little 5 stands for 50, okay?
Okay.
You see the little 5 on the icon? So it flies 50 feet up into the air, and it kind of turns in the air and raises its tail, and it's going to make 3 attacks with its tail spikes. Let's see, it's going to... What is its intelligence? Not so hot. Okay. It's going to make a ranged attack on Aramil, Zane, and Charlene.
Okay.
So one on each of you. This is the one on Aramil.
That's not gonna hit.
Because of your dodge?
Yep, it imposes disadvantage.
Okay. Aramil, you managed to kind of dodge to the side as a number of foot-long white sharp quills embed themselves into the ground. Zane?
That will hit. Just barely.
Very terrible, terrible amount of damage. And Charlene? 16?
Yep.
11 piercing.
Okay. I am quite big, so I am definitely easy to hit.
Okay, and then the second one, that is his turn. He already used his movement to go up. The second one is also going to take flight. This one's going to move forward just a little bit and then launch into the air. So he's only going to be about 30 feet in the air. Okay, this one makes the same maneuver. It's gonna, you've got the 2 guys right up front. It's gonna go for Zane, Aramil, and this time Randolph Phineas. So
Even though I'm
Aramil.
stealth?
Oh, that's right. You never broke your stealth. Okay, in that case, it's going for Kamara. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. That's you, Aramel. That's going to be a miss. Zane, that's going to be a miss. Kamara, I'm assuming that is a miss as well.
Yep.
This is a very inefficient manicore. I'm disappointed in it.
Should have went for the giant snake.
Kamara, it's your turn.
I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at the green one. No, not 16. 18 and 17.
Both of those hit.
Damage.
Okay, the blasts kind of shoot up into the air, hit the side of its mane, singe the side of its face, and you guys see like a streak of blood across the side of its shoulder. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Charlene?
I am going to, as a snake, just double move. Just slithering, deciding where I want to be. How big is this, like, cliff side?
I would say it's about 5 feet. This one is probably about 5 feet. I would say this one at its max is about 10.
Okay. Since I am so large, I guess it doesn't really make much of a difference for me.
No.
I could probably slither over that.
Yeah. The 10-foot one I would count as taking double movement
Okay.
because it's as big as you are, but the small one you can just crawl right over.
Okay. So I'm going to slither over here, and that's my turn.
Randolph Phineas.
Sorry, I was saying goodnight to my daughter. Okay. I will. I will once again hold my action for if one of the manticores get within 30 feet of me. But I will take a bonus action. I'll use this for the next person who is in initiative order, which is Zane. And I will call out where I might have remembered a soft spot, whether it's true or not, but it helps him in his action.
Go for the neck.
Yeah, so chest or something that I might have remembered in my studies.
Okay,
Or
is that your
thought I
turn?
remembered. Yep, and I'm holding my action again, like I said. Same one.
Now you guys have to remind me, can he use a bonus and then still hold an action?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could also move if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm staying where I am hidden.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I guess I will ride a bit closer and sheathe my sword and pull out my my crossbow.
Okay, what is the range on your crossbow?
It says 80.
You broke up?
80/320.
Okay, so 80 is how far you can shoot without disadvantage. And then the second one is how far you can shoot with disadvantage. Am I correct in that, you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're in range, essentially.
Yes, they are. I don't believe that you get the Cavalier bonus, though, because you're not in a melee.
Yep. Yeah, I don't get the Cavalier bonus, and plus it's not a smaller creature than
That's right.
my mount. But I will move a bit. While sheathing my sword and pull out my crossbow, and then I'm aiming for the closest one.
She does get advantage from my feet.
He does indeed.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. You didn't hit Charlene or someone else.
Thanks for trying, though. How could I have hit anybody else?
Go for its
They're
neck.
nowhere near.
Shoots it into a tree. Aw, man.
I do believe you have a second attack. Okay, the second one hits. Roll your damage. 4 piercing. Were you doing green?
Yeah, the closest one.
Okay, so we are at the top of the round. At which point another manticore appears on the horizon and enters the turn order. And guess what? One more.
It's a trap! They knew we were coming! Get out of here!
These are some very precious kittens.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like in Jurassic Park, it's like, clever girl.
How many times has that come up recently? I feel like I've been hearing that at least once every 3 days. I'm gonna have to. That's what we're doing this weekend, you guys. We're getting together and we're watching Jurassic Park.
I'm up for that.
My place, whiskey,
all-
popcorn.
You're gonna pay for the flights.
I'll make tacos.
I mean,
Ooh,
I
I
can't
don't
say
know.
no to tacos.
Might be worth it.
Okay, so let me add some colors here just to make life easy. Why do you know clicky for me? So we now have a burnt sienna manticore and a cashmere pink manticore. Cute! There's the pink. I said pink. Doesn't like my pink. Why is it not liking my pink?
So we have a pink manticore and a John Cena manticore.
Okay, and these are both currently 50 feet up in the air. So let me add that.
So they just flew in. Smart move keeping him off the ground.
It's almost
Yeah.
like I've done this DM thing before.
They gotta come down eventually. They're gonna get tired. We'll see. They're gonna have to protect their young, because that's where I'm going next.
Give me one moment. Okay, so everyone is all iconed and colored up. So it's Pink's turn. Pink is growling and hissing, and it is angry. It's gonna fly down to Charlene and gonna start chewing on the snake. It's like, hey, my dinner came to me. It doesn't say that, but if manticores could speak common. So multi-attack, we're gonna do a bite. and 2 claws.
Okay.
Let's roll up that beautiful damage here. Last one is crit.
Okay. And not that it matters, because none of us are really stealthing too hard, but I no longer am giving a +10.
You're what?
I'm not giving a +10 to stealth anymore.
You failed your Constitution saving throw. Thank you for remembering that. So the stealth bonus is not applied. The only person that matters is Randolph Phineas. You guys watch as this manticore comes down to the ground. Let me change that on the icon. Comes down to the ground and tears into the giant boa constrictor. It seems to be enjoying the meal. It kind of like roars, "Gosh!" It howls at the others, and they're all like looking at it like, "Oh, we like snake too."
I don't think that you say roar that weird.
It sounds really weird every time I say it. We're gonna move on because I don't want to blush. Okay, so that is its turn. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what I'm forgetting. So, I'll remember it when I watch the video back. Aramel.
All right. The person who purchased the broom was Kamara. So Aramel's going to move back 20 feet. Politely ask for the broom.
As a reaction, can I hand him the broom?
Josh, help me with this.
Okay,
I mean,
where...
it's large, right? It's not in the bag of holding.
No, I don't think she would have had it in the bag. I'll agree with that.
So then it's
but
like on
the
her
question
back.
is, isn't it going to be her action to hand you the broom? Because it would be like a potion.
I feel like he could use his action to just take it.
Okay. I would agree with that. So that can be your action, Aramel. I will warn you that flying on the broom, you're going to have to be able to navigate the broom. So while it's a useful item, navigating it while in combat would really take one person flying it and the other riding. Do you understand?
So someone needs to spend their turn navigating it for it to be effective.
In combat, yes.
I guess instead then he will
Yeah, I'll let you.
he'll ask Kamara if she can cast fly on him.
Sure.
Oh no. Damn head desks. God damn it.
All right. He's going to. He doesn't have much he can do, so he's just going to use his action to dodge.
Okay. Oh, you guys, too damn creative. Okay, so it's Red's turn. Red is going to stay up in the air, but move a little bit closer. It is going to send a tail spike at Charlene. They like to crit you. For 14 damage. It's going to send a tail spike at Zane. That's a miss. Right?
Yep.
Let's see who else is in range. It's going to send some at Aramel. It's a hit. No? Dodge action?
16, yeah.
So that's a miss. Okay. So that's that one's turn. Kamara.
I'm gonna cast fly on Aramel, and then use my bonus action to get a spell slot back. So I still have 2. And that's my turn.
Aramel, go ahead and put the icon on you and make sure you keep track of how high in the air you are, okay?
You got it.
Is this a concentration spell, Kamara?
Yes.
Okay, make sure you put the icon on you and however many rounds. Do you know
It's
how
10
to do
minutes.
that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, don't even worry about it then. Just put the concentration icon. And is that your
Yes.
lovely? What a team player. Okay, green.
So I don't know which one we're using for concentration.
Just a little face or whatever you want, just as long as it helps you remember that you're doing it. Okay, so green is going to kind of fly out here. Tail spikes on Zane. Hit.
Mm-hmm.
10 damage. Tail spikes on... We're going to do Kamara this time. Hit.
Yep.
8 damage. And Randolph Phineas. Miss.
That is my AC.
Okay, so that's a hit for 4 damage. That's his turn. He's kind of drooling and snarling. And it is now your turn, Randolph Phineas. You had a held action though, right?
I did.
What was the trigger for it? Something coming
It was
closer?
30 feet, yeah. From 30
Yeah.
feet, I was going to throw a knife, a poison knife.
Okay, go ahead. That is a hit.
Alright, and I will tell you what the poison is. Right here. Whoops. How do you, sure. Sorry.
So the sneak attack is because you're coming out of stealth.
Yep, DC 13 Constitution check, or it is unconscious for 1 minute.
It fails.
So it. There we go, and I will paste it.
Make sure you take that out of your inventory.
Yep, will do.
Okay, so you guys watch as your butler steps out of hiding, launches a dagger across the field of battle, hits the manticore in the eye. It starts to growl, and then suddenly goes limp and falls to the ground.
And then I will call out to everyone. I'll say, "Ignore that one for now." And then it's my turn. Am I correct in assuming this? Because that was a held action.
Yes, let me figure out what the sleeping icon is going to be. They really need to come up with some better icons, you guys. Why do we
Did
not
he
have
get
a...
to hit any of us since he moved within that range? His thing would have triggered. Would he have hit any of us?
Who?
Oh, trying to retcon the damage.
Yeah,
Moved
it's
in and then-
true. That was my mistake, but he also didn't say, hey, DM, you made a mistake. We're just going to move on.
That's fair. Rand, make sure you say
Well, I didn't want to interrupt her. We're all polite.
I love you guys. Okay, go ahead with your action.
Alright, and then right after I tell everyone to ignore that one for now, he will start muttering to himself softly, and a knife of ice forms in his hand, and he will attack this one. And I will... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the measure tool. Let me do the spell first.
They do have colors.
Oh, they do, you're right. Special. The red one.
Okay.
And you need an ranged attack spell for that, and I have that set up already.
Oh, sorry. How long is Green unconscious for?
You said 1 minute, didn't you?
1 hour. I'm sorry.
Oh, 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it fails by yeah. Wait, did it fail by 5 or more? I'm sorry. I misread that. It did. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So it takes effect. Yeah. It's unconscious for an hour. I'm glad it did.
Okay, so your ice knife hits. Roll your damage.
Okay. The piercing damage is that. And the cold damage is if it fails a dexterity save.
And that's red you're attacking?
What's that?
That's red you're attacking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get the sneak, obviously, which is sad because that's a nice sneak because you already came out of
Oh, and it
combat.
wasn't
Yeah.
engaged with it's not in engaged range, is it?
Right. Unfortunately, Charlene's just a
Okay.
little too far away, but you
Well, I
do
didn't
get
want
the.
the 5-foot hit. I didn't want the ice knife to burst and hit him because it bursts and they have to make a dex save, and if they fail, they take the cold damage.
What is your DC or your spell?
16. It's right there.
Okay, so it fails. So in addition to the 16 cold damage, how much more does it take? Roll your extra 2d6, right? Oh no, I
That's
see it's
the
already
second.
rolled.
Yeah, I've already
Okay.
set it up. Yeah, so it's 16 total.
You'll have to put up with me. Spells
No
are
worries.
one of my weak points. Okay, so it takes the 5 piercing, and then since it's failed the dex, it takes another 11 damage. So that's a total of 16 on red. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I will also use my bonus action to use my Master of Tactics for Charlene, having the ice bursting be basically a distraction for the two manticores if she goes to attack them, giving her advantage on attack. Is how
I
I'm
like
going
the
to play
fluff.
this. Yep.
Okay, so that's your turn. We are on Charlene.
Awesome. I am going to try to grapple the one that is attacking me. I'm going to try to constrict it. Ooh, yes.
I don't see that I should even probably bother to roll, but
Well,
it
you
is
don't
a
roll yet anyway. You only roll when you want to escape. You're just grappled.
okay.
So,
Pink.
yes. So, that's 17 damage, and you're grappled and restrained.
Nice.
And I am going to drag it over here. So you could just drag it, move it 5 feet over.
Like that.
Yep. So it's grappled and restrained. It has disadvantage to attack, and everyone has advantage to attack it.
Okay. You'll have to remind me about that come time, okay?
Yep.
Okay, it is Burnt Sienna's turn. Or pumpkin spice latte? Yeah, let's go with that. It's Pumpkin's turn.
Not pumpkin spice latte. Oh no.
It's going to fly to here. And it's going to make tail spike attacks on both Kamara and, well, it's going to do 2 to Kamara and 1 to Aramel. Miss. Hit.
Hit.
11. Are you going to do anything to avoid that? I don't know if you have shield or anything like that.
No, I don't.
Okay, so 11 damage to you, and this one's on Aramel.
Nope.
Miss. Okay, that is its turn. Zane. Charlene, do you remember that the one you're standing on, this one, is 50 feet in the air?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna fire 2 crossbow bolts at this one over here.
On Pumpkin? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if that's orange or brown or whatever.
Whatever. Yes, I got you.
Its color is burnt John Cena.
Unfortunately, both of the arrows go wide and disappear into the trees.
It's my turn.
Okay. So now we are on Pink, who has disadvantage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's not going to stop it from trying to eat a snake. So bite. So that's a 12. Miss.
Nope, that hits.
Okay. 7 damage. 2 claws. 7 and 7.
That actually misses.
Yay! Okay. So that is its turn. Aramel. Flying monk.
He sort of like stands on his tiptoes a bit, getting used to the light feeling, and zooms
Wait
up.
1 second. I'm sorry. Kamara, you need to make a constitution saving throw for the damage.
Yeah,
that
I've
you
been doing that. I got a 12.
Okay, so you're good. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
I
Aramel.
actually was doing that instead of like giving myself damage. Just FYI.
All right, so he's gonna like stand on his a little bit on his toes, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna nod to himself. He's gonna shoot up at Orange, 50 feet into the air, and take a couple of whacks at it.
Just for my knowledge, what is your fly speed?
It is 60 feet.
Okay, is that based on the fly spell?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
That is very unfortunate.
You're lucky that no one is around, but I am gonna say that you drop your staff. Sorry.
No, my plan. All right, can he fumble it and just snatch it back up for the rest of his turn?
If you want to use the rest of your turn to grab it, sure.
Yeah, he will. He's gonna
You
be.
need to move though.
I mean, he is 50. He can only move 10 more.
So you threw your staff because you're not next to anything. I'm confused.
No, he moves 50 to be next to this guy here, and then attacks.
There we go. Okay.
So he doesn't. Oh, yeah, that's what you meant. Move for the turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's gonna like reach out his second hand and grab the first one as it slips. He shot up in the air a little too fast. He's going to like try and steel himself against whatever this large creature is, and no bonus, so he'll end his turn.
Okay.
By the way, I did notice because I was pointing over there, so I saw you.
Okay, that's your turn. Now it is. You gotta be right on top of it, so I can't see the color. Well, this one is gonna fly just over here for the DMs. So red.
If you right click it, you can
Move to top. Oh, there we go. Okay, to
If you
front.
hover, it highlights the one. You hover over the initiative.
Okay, so this one, red, is going to try to tear apart this giant snake that's eating its manticore lover. I guess.
It's made.
So, there you go. I've had 6.5 hours of sleep in the last 48. I'm doing my best. So Charlene, these are all going to be on you. So spike, spike, spike. Hit, miss, hit.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so 16 piercing damage.
Okay.
Charlene reappears looking quite like a porcupine. Aramil's new fanfiction book. I like it. I feel like it should be my manticore. So that is its turn.
Yep.
Mara. And Charlene, you didn't have any concentration spells up, right?
Correct.
Kamara.
So I have a question again about the broom. Could we go when it's one person's turn, the other person holds the broom, or is it one person has to navigate the whole time?
I'm going to make the ruling for this combat that one person has to navigate. I will research the broom before our next session and let you guys know.
All right, I'll do 2 Eldritch Blasts on the red one, and 14 and a 19.
Hit and hit.
$15 and 8 plus 4. Why? 13. 14.
Words.
Math.
Words.
13 and 12, so 25 damage.
Nice. And that was on red. Red is starting to look hurt.
And then I'm gonna get in the broom, fly towards Zane, and say, I'll be your navigator. Get on the broom.
Okay. I'm going to say it's your bonus action to mount the broom if you already had it.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Someone type that in house rules for me. Okay. So Kamara flies over to Zane and says, Zane, get on my...
Not like that!
Kamara, is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Zane is stunned for the next round.
I'm not sure coming to me was the best choice. You got a guy who could throw poison stuff.
I was thinking of getting there closer so you can use your swords.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a great idea, actually.
It is Green's turn, but Green is currently poisoned and is snoozing. So Randolph-Phineas?
Okay. Let me see the range on this particular beauty. 30, 20. I will move, run up close to my poison buddy here, and I will pull out my hand crossbow and fire at... Dang, nobody's engaged with, I'll fire at this one.
Okay, hang on one second.
No, actually, that's within 30 feet, I think.
No. If you want to retcon your movement, I'll allow it.
Cool, because it'll make sense what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
Isn't that one 50 feet up in the air anyway?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, go back to where you were, Rand.
Okay.
Maybe that one could be the range? That's awake? It's the only one I see.
Yeah.
Everything else is 50 up, right?
Yeah.
He was engaged. It was just engaged to Charlene.
Yeah, you wouldn't get sneak attack on it, but it is. Oh, it's actually not grappled or anything anymore, is it?
Nope, because I got shot up.
Choices, choices.
Is it prone or is it still on its feet?
Nah.
It never was prone. It was just grappled.
I will shoot it. Yeah, well, shoot it with the crossbow. So I guess without sneak attack is fine.
Yeah, Casey, I'll look into it. I may very well be wrong. Okay, so I'll let you keep that that roll you made because that would really suck to make you roll again. So roll your damage.
Okay.
Total that up for me because my brain's not working.
Well, without the sneak, it's 10.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. Once again, I will be using. Actually, I'll be using my cunning action this time to hide.
Okay, roll a stealth for me. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Okay, is that your turn?
Yep.
Snake girl. Bearfish snake girl.
Okay. There's a strategic move, and the what Charlotte would probably do. So she's going to come over here and speak with animals because it's worked with their mommy. And she's going to speak to the Quaddle Cats.
Okay. Speaking in combat, I know a reaction is like 6 words, so I'm going to give you like triple that for your actual action. Just keep it kind of on the short side.
Okay. So yeah, she's just going to say, "Are you okay? Your mom sent us to come save you."
And the kittens go, "Mommy, mommy!" And they kind of swarm you, Charlotte.
Okay.
So they're kind of grabbing onto you. They're both small enough that they could fit on your shoulders.
And then they attack. No!
Oh God, Aramil, or what he said. You're just gonna hold them in front of you. That's so
I don't
terrible.
think that I have to. I think that I just shouldn't be attacked because they're afraid to attack their little cubs.
Yeah, we'll see what they roll on their intelligence check. Okay, is that your turn?
Yes. Wait. Yes.
Okay. It is now our orange's turn, and since it is actually engaged at the same height with Aramil, it's a bite and 2 claws. Miss.
Just miss. And a crit. Ow.
And a crit.
Ooh.
A double crit.
Gosh, this damage is terrible. Okay, so 9 damage to you, Aramil. That's its turn. Zane, are you going to get on Kamara's bridge?
I guess, but like, okay. I'm gonna put my I'm gonna put my crossbow away, pull out my sword, and then as I'm getting onto the broom, I am gonna shout at Maximus to run in the field and keep an eye on me. If I come down, come to me.
Okay, so you are now on the broom behind Kamara with your sword out, and Maximus does run off into the distance. I don't have his icon out, but he's going to be like down here, shelter. Okay.
And I guess I gotta wait for Kamara to move, so I'll hold an action like to do my full 2 attacks when I'm next to a Manticore.
I'm gonna say that getting on the broom is your action. Or do you not agree with that? Let me think about that, because
You said it was a bonus action for me.
Yeah, because she already had it in her hand, so it's just like, oh, stick it here and fly.
It could be considered
Yeah.
Say again, Josh.
I was agreeing with what Brett was saying, that it could generally be considered a movement. To mount something is usually half your movement, but in his case, he's going to be using his full movement anyway, just topping on.
Okay, so we will agree that he can get on with his movement, but what about his sword and his crossbow?
Yeah, he should be able to still hold his action to attack.
Okay, so that's Zane's turn. He has a held action now, and then we go to Pink. Pink is no longer grappled. Pink is going to make an intelligence check to see if it is smart enough to not attack Charlene with the babies. If it's 10 or above, it won't. If it's 10 or below, it will. Oh, god damn. I said 10 or above, it won't. 10 or below.
You certainly did.
It's gonna do both.
Okay.
Wait, that's Constitution? It vomits over the babies.
So it crits its intelligence, and it says I'm not attacking those cute little kittens that we stole. So instead, it's going to aim some tail spikes, one at Randolph Phineas, and then one at Zane and one at Kamara.
I'm stealthed.
Okay, so let's see. One at Aramil, which that was a miss. Zane, that was a miss. And Kamara, does that hit?
Yes.
11 damage. That is Pink's turn.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
13 for the concentration. Huh?
If I hop onto the broom, and then Kamara gets knocked off.
Hello.
You said you got a 13 on your concentration?
Yep, which is fine.
How low does it have to be in order for it to fail?
Half or 10. No, it has to be 10.
10.
Because it's either half damage or 10, whichever one.
That would suck for Aramil.
Yep.
The spell describes it as a slow fall if it ends, so it's fine.
Oh, great.
While you're getting attacked by a Manticore.
What could go wrong? Okay, Aramil, that's a hit.
Yeah, he's gonna bring his staff up. Hopefully hitting. Yeah, he does. Cool. He's going to imbue it with some of his ki to try and stun this guy. So it'll make a con save as well.
Okay, Josh, while I'm doing this, look up fall damage for me.
It's 1d6 per
10 feet.
10
Okay.
feet, yeah. And
So the damn thing's stunned.
And he'll finish his attacks.
I don't know, because it's falling.
You can move it on its turn or now, whichever you like.
Seconds.
I don't remember which one it's supposed to be. But either way, he will chase it down as it goes, so... Regardless, it's
Okay.
just going to be where Aramil ends up.
Gotcha. I mean, he would just land anyway. So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, alright, he'll finish up his attacks. 18, And 27.
Does hit roll damage?
34 damage? Yeah.
Uh, 38 damage. 14, and 10.
Oh, 38. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And 16 bludgeoning damage if it falls.
In the space of one round, this thing is looking pretty rough.
And
Are you using your movement to follow it?
yeah, he will. If it's still alive after the quick strikes and beat down, he's just gonna dive down. He'll end his turn there.
Okay, that is Aramel's turn. So we are on red. Red is going to see how smart it is today. Red is pretty smart. So it's going to do. It's kind of focused on this broom. So it's going to do 2 tail spikes on Zane and 1 on Kamara. Crit. Miss. And then Kamara, does a 15 hit you? What's your AC?
13.
Okay, so that hits you. So this is Zane's damage.
Oh, you're down, Aramel. You're down.
He said he landed.
He's on the ground anyway.
Okay, you're not flying anymore.
So Zane, you take 15 piercing damage. And Kamara, you take 7 piercing damage. How are you looking, Kamara?
I'm fine. I'm in double digits.
Okay, that is Red's turn. Kamara, you are up.
So, I forget, are we doing bonus action for healing potions if I'm taking it myself?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take my superior healing potion.
I'm fine. Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Well, why do you think she's fine?
What is that again?
Alright, it's 8d4 plus 8.
Do you want me to take that one? Or roll it?
Roll it. Still good.
And then I'm going to use my action to dash and movement to move up to the red drag manticore.
Okay.
So
The manticore was in drag?
yeah.
Okay, so move yourself, and Zane, you're going with her.
Nope, I'm just staying where I'm at.
And
I'm going with
she zips out from underneath you. Oops, I forgot to hold on.
I assume with that 60, it's you can get up there, and you can hit him
With your dash, and yeah.
and so he can hit, right?
He can on his turn.
Well, because he held his action.
That's correct. So yes, he can.
Okay, and that's it for me.
Okay, those both hit. Now I'm going by the first column, right?
The second one, I just accidentally.
It's fine. Just add it up for me.
It's just going to be the 15 and the 12, so 27.
Zane, look at you! You just chopped its head off.
Woohoo! I'm contributing. Woo! Because Aramel is up next to me, overshadowing me. I can finally stretch my wings.
I'm finally brave. Okay, so Kamara, you watch as Zane snicker snacks with a sword, and you get covered in blood. Covered, absolutely. It's all down the front of your dress. It's all over your face and in your hair. As he chops the head off of this thing, the head kind of rolls one direction and hits the ground with a thud, and the body goes the other direction and hits the ground with a bigger thud, and the manticore dies. Since you were in front of Zane, he's nice and clean.
You're welcome.
I mean,
And then
I was
Zane,
cutting him up, so I was very next to it.
I'm gonna go with this just until I have time to research this broom. I'm already hating the name. Make a dexterity saving throw for me. We're gonna make it a DC 12.
Who?
Just to stay on the broom, Zane.
Okay.
Since he's swinging around and everything. Yay, you just made it. Okay. So it is now Green's turn, but Green is still slumbering the sleep of Dro poison. Rand.
Alright. I will let my hand crossbow fall and whip a dagger at Pink.
15 hits.
And that sneak attack is in effect because I came out of stealth.
Correct.
And
an unfortunate roll there on your dagger damage. But that's a total of 14, correct?
yes. And I will, having struck the manticore, use my bonus action for my Master of Tactics feature to give Zane the advantage on his next attack, helping him by showing him a soft spot where the dagger went in. And if a lowly butler can strike it, he can take another manticore out.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Nice. Okay. Team player. Charlene.
So I'm going to say to the Quado cats, these manticores didn't hurt you, did they? And I'm also gonna cast Frostbite on the pink one.
They start telling you that they took good care of them, but that they smell really bad and they're really scary, and they keep trying to feed them disgusting. So DC 16. Constitution.
Ooh.
No, it fails. Okay.
I think this is like one of the first times that this works. Frostbite never works for me.
Okay, so it takes the damage and it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Yes.
But it's just on one attack, not its entire turn. Okay.
Cool.
And that's pink, and that's 12 damage. Okie dokie. You need to remember that. If you forget it, I won't retcon it, okay?
Yep.
So now it is Orange's turn.
Burnt Sienna.
Burnt Sienna, who is on the ground right next to Aramil and is very hurt and very desperate. So it's going to bite and claw at you, Aramil. I'm assuming that's a...
He stunned it on his turn. It lasts until the end of his next turn.
Okay, so it tries to bite and its mouth doesn't move. And that's his turn.
Bites itself.
Zane.
I'm picturing only its mouth is moving, but its neck didn't move to like turn it towards you.
Are you holding your action? Or?
Yeah, I'll hold my action until I'm next to the manticore, and I'll be aiming for that soft spot to get that.
Okay. Pink's turn. It has disadvantage on its first attack. It's gonna go after Kamara, Zane, and Ram. In that order. So Kamara, miss. Zane, miss. Goodness. The pink one is just not doing well today. So those are all misses. That's its turn. However, it is going to move over to here. It doesn't want Charlene getting away. Okay, Aramel.
Bitch,
All
I
right,
ain't.
well, Charlene badmouths the manticore.
Yes.
Aramil's going to silently whack into the stunned beast in front of him.
That's at advantage, correct?
Yep.
Pummeling its unconscious form
Well, not unconscious,
brutally
but
with
rigid.
malice.
And then he'll pull out his quarterstaff, start attacking at its head.
Okay, just tell me when you're done and what the damage is.
All right, that's 22 so far.
Okay, it is dead.
All right, and then he's going to leap towards Pink. The large. Can you climb up the? Can you scale this 10-foot wall?
10 feet. Yeah, I mean, it's at an angle, so you can climb up it pretty easily, but it is going to be, instead of a 5-foot square, it's going to count as 10.
Sounds good to me. So he moves here. And he will end his turn. He'll look to Charlene, say, "Oh no! The Quaddlecats attacked you!" That was unexpected. Turn end.
They're whispering in Charlene's ear, and what Aramil sees is them, like, biting into her neck or something. Okay. So that one is dead. Kamara.
I'm gonna do the same thing. My movement and my dash, and fly up into the manticore.
Which triggers my.
You're flying into it?
Into it.
We're kamikazeing.
The
From behind with your broom. Josh, Jinx. Okay.
Ignore that third one. It's the first one and the second one, and both are at advantage, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
They are. Unfortunately, the first one doesn't hit. The second one does. So roll that damage. And it's the first one, right? 11.
Yep.
What does marked mean? I'm sorry, but what does marked mean?
I could mark any creature that I hit. I can mark, and then everybody in that area gets a disadvantage at hurting me. I'll post it up there so we don't.
Sorry.
Okay. So that was your held action. Kamara, is that your turn?
Yes, sir.
Gosh, I'm tired. I didn't think this would run this late, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Green snooze. And it's the butler's turn.
I will pull out my short sword and stick it into the manticore's brain at my feet. Do its eye socket, whichever way will be easiest to lay it to rest.
Do you have like a coup de grace or something like that that's like
I don't think that's a feature for a class. Like, I know they took it out of 5e. There's special rules for it, but I don't know.
You do auto crit if you hit it.
To auto crit and others, yeah.
Yeah, so you roll with advantage if you auto crit, and then you also get your sneak attack damage, of course. And this
Okay.
sneak
Josh, you don't sound tired at all.
Nothing is as invigorating as manticores.
Alright. So what am I doing? I'm making a melee attack against it as it's laying there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that's a hit. I like how he's already named his sword.
Huh. Oh, come on.
Okay, so we have a house rule that if on a crit you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it. So roll me 2d6.
Okay. Should I roll the piercing damage too?
No, because you didn't roll a 1 on that.
No, but for crit it'd be double my piercing damage for the short swords, correct?
Yeah, and then we have another house rule. You have to make a decision right now whether or not you're just going to double from now on.
I'll double it from
or
now.
roll. Okay, so that is we.
Well, when you roll a crit though, it automatically rolls it in these with these attack macros. Sorry. So like a natural crit, it'll be already included in the damage.
So you're saying that yeah, I mean for a natural quick crit it would, but we have the house rule that if you can make the decision on how you're going to roll it, so you can ignore what the computer is doing, and you can. I mean, you still take the initial damage,
right? Or
but
you
have to
double.
stick to it every time, right?
Okay. All right, that's fair. I will roll.
Okay, so your first one is the 9. Go ahead and roll your second.
And that is D6 plus 3. Plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
you have your 16 plus 8. The 8 would be doubled as well, so 16 plus 16.
Okay.
Which is 32. And that is green.
Now, since that's a crit,
it is not dead.
Would that enact my short sword's magical ability since it was a crit?
Link me the sword.
Okay.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
The sword sneak attacks him right back.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Sword of...
Critical. Roll.
Alright, how do I do that?
Hey.
How do I link it?
It's okay, I'll pull it up. It was the Sword of Life Stealing, right?
Yeah.
I'll make you an item for it later. When you attack a creature with this magic weapon and roll a 20 on an attack roll,
It's 3d6.
the target takes an extra 3d6. You didn't roll a 20 though. Okay, I'll give it to you this time, but that's something I'm going to have to think about too. So
Okay.
roll 3d6, and then you're going to get that back in hit points.
Temporary hit points.
Okay, so it takes 12 damage, and the sword seems to kind of suck in the blood. And from where you're holding it, you see red streaks go up your arm, and you start to feel healthier. And it is looking like it is on the edge of dying.
Okay.
But let me look up the druid poison, because I would think that damage would wake.
Yeah, it wakes up. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I
So
stabbed
it
in
gets
the
up
brain.
half dead, and its bloodshot eyes from where Charlene had compressed it earlier that are half popped out of its head turn to you. And is that your turn?
We use a bonus action to disengage, shouting for Aramel.
Nope, I'm out.
My cunning action.
Caramel.
I'll be like, Aramel, finish it off! As I duck around here. I'm only gonna go 20 feet away.
Okay. Charlene.
Okay. I am going to cast Shillelagh on my club, and I'm going to use the manticore. That's not a roll. Okay, I'm gonna have to push buttons. But this was this roll correct. Yay.
It's a hit. Seven damage on pink. It's hurt. It's really hurt, but it's not dead. That shillelagh hits it in the middle of the skull, and you hear a crack, and its eyes kind of twirl around in its head a little bit, and it looks confused, but it is still looking at you with its adopted kittens, and it's not happy. Okay. Hang in there, guys. We're almost done. What am I doing? Bad calculator. Okay. Pumpkin is dead. Zane is dead. Okay, Zane. Your turn. Finish it off, dude. Yeah, it's tired.
Certainly.
Sure, I'll finish it up and roll double ones.
Triple
Triple ones.
I am so sorry, but you are right next to Kamara.
Yep.
Roll the damage.
But the first damage is to hit it.
Okay, Kamara, you take 12 slashing damage.
Well, isn't that his?
That was the damage for the first one. Here's the damage for the second.
Woo.
Yay, one less damage.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is this another house rule?
Usually, if you have a critical fail, you're going to hit someone that's around you.
Right. Okay. I just because I'm only.
Or you're
I'm
going to
used
drop a weapon, or
if I'm used to it where you have to roll against their AC to see if you hit them because you critically failed. But my bad. I was just checking.
yeah, no, we don't do that. But that's a good point. Okay. So Zane, you have another attack, or was that?
That was the other one.
Okay, so for the first one, roll the Oh, you already did. Okay, so that's 12 damage to the pink. So close. Its neck is like half severed, and its tongue is lolling out of its mouth, and its claw is just kind of like reflectively striking at Charlene at this point. Anything else, Zane?
You know what? This is probably my last attack. I'll do an action surge.
Yay! Don't roll a 1. Okay, unfortunately, that's a miss.
Both are misses.
16 is a hit. The 11 is a miss. It is dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to do with your turn since you surged? I think the 2 attacks is all you get.
Yep, but I'll be since we're basically on the ground, I'll be getting off and whistling for
Maximus. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see how far away he was. I said he was like right over here. Oh. Yeah, he can get to you. His movement's like 60 feet, I think.
Yep, it's 60.
So he gets to you. Do you have any movement left to get on him? You do.
Yes, but I know that there's a special thing, but I do have a movement to get on him, but I do have a special thing that says that mounting or dismounting a creature costs only 5 feet instead of...
Sweet. Okay, so you are back on Maximus's back. He has used his movement, so we're gonna say that's it for this turn.
I mean, I'm not. I don't plan on moving anywhere, but I mean, if I wanted, I could probably move with.
But he also just moved. You know what I mean? That's something else we'll have to think about.
I guess so. Yeah, we'll have to think about.
Okay, so that one is dead. So we only have the one left standing, Aramel.
Yeah, he turns his head as he hears Randolphinius. He calls out to him as he jumps off the slope to attack the manticore that's prone on the ground, just stirring. Oh no, he jumped too far.
With the second hit of your staff, how do you want to do this?
I want him to jump on top of it, and it sort of thuds under his weight, and then he takes his quarterstaff and chokes it. Like, pulls it back. Either chokes it or breaks its neck, whichever. How would
You
you
like murdering creatures in a slow way.
Yeah, let's break its neck. Yeah, he's gonna, like, pull the quarterstaff back up, and it's already sort of injured, and it doesn't resist it as well, and there's a crunch.
And it falls limp to the ground. And you are now the proud owners of 2 Quaddle Cat kittens who are trying to crawl down into Charlene's armor to hide. And that is where we're going to end the session. Do me a favor, Josh, go to bed.